Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host. And to my right and your left, of course, is the lovely Julia Perciasepe. Hello, Julia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was full of music and life and spring.
Oh, great. Yeah, it was a very springy weekend.
It was.
Yes.
Although the weather's been a little weird, like on and off. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it was.
That's great.
It was a good weekend where there was the JP Wake Up the Earth.
That was going on.
Fest.
And there was walks for hunger and all kinds of things like that
Lots
going
of
on
things,
around
yeah.
the city. I want to remind everybody that we are coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. And Dave and the great staff of BNN are in the other room answering the phones. You know, if you have a block on your phone and you want to be part of the program, you can always go star 82. And that gets you right straight through to us. And we'd love to hear from you.
I did not know that.
What's going. Yes, it is a little kind of thing that if there's a block on your phone, because it won't show the number.
Yeah.
And they won't accept the call unless they, you know, who's this person calling? So what they do is you can unlock that star 82.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
Yeah,
you can.
That's a cool thing to have. I've never had a block on my phone, but there's been many times I've wished I had. You know.
Yeah.
I want to tell everybody that we are very, very excited about tonight's program, in particular because we have great organization from the city of Boston, one of the long-standing arts associations in the city has hung their art out in our gallery here, right outside these very studios. The Hyde Park Arts Association, where they live in Hyde Park in Logan Square, right in the Menino Center there.
Yeah.
They have a great space there. I've played there a couple of times. I've had some art there. I've taught some classes there. It's a great place, but they have invaded the gallery.
Yes, they have.
Right outside Studio B. So we're going to get a chance to go out and meet with them and check out some of their art in a little bit, you know. There's also an amazing program going on there. What's happening at the center? You're going to be talking to one of the...
I am. I'm going to be talking to a mass arts student about kind of mass arts connection with the center and the Hyde Park Art Association, and yeah,
I think they've got them in there as some interns are in.
Yep.
I know there's one in particular that curated the show that's hanging in
we'll
there
talk about
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to talk a little bit about that and see what's. That's a nice partnership for them.
It is.
You know, mass art, where there's nowhere to go but down when you have people from mass art. No, I mean that's the top. That's the top of the shelf as far as educational art institutes around the city of Boston. That's where I was going.
Got it.
I hope.
Yeah, it's a great institution.
Today is my lovely daughter, the fabulous Rebecca's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Rebecca.
Cinco de Mayo. Happy
Cinco de Mayo.
And she celebrated by going all the way up to New York, up to my sister's house yesterday, with my bride. Left me home for the whole weekend by myself. Now listen, here's what I did.
Okay.
I decided. I said, okay, I've got the place to myself. I'm going to go out and listen to some live music. I'm going to get on the internet, see if there's anybody interesting playing in the area that I want. I saw a couple of things that I wanted to watch, wanted to do and say. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to sit here in comfy chair. 11:30, I woke up, and that was it. I never made it out the door.
Did you find anything?
I saw a couple of things that I would have liked to have gone. Gone to the Paradise Cafe up in Dedham, which is right around the corner from us in Rosendale. Would have been a great thing to go to do. But
sometimes you just
needed the
fall
break.
asleep.
I needed the break, I think.
Yeah.
What's new and exciting with you? So you went out to see some. Did you go to see some music this week?
Well, the festival is literally right in front of my house.
Oh, okay.
So I can't miss it. It was. When I first moved to JP, actually, this is really funny, we had no idea that this festival happened. And so one morning we woke up, we put our blinds up, and there's like this huge stage and food vendors like literally in our front yard. And we were like, all right, this is pretty cool.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah, but it's really grown, and there's a lot of support, and really interesting organizations come to promote their work, and it's just a really good time.
Is it arts and music driven?
Yeah, it's there's kind of it's hosted semi-hosted by this organization in JP called Spontaneous Celebrations.
I know Spontaneous very well.
So they're a pretty cool organization. They do a lot of art and music and dance stuff. And so they kind of run it, and so everything is infused with that.
Yeah.
From the parades, they have these intricate costumes. They have, like I said, a main stage where there's performers throughout the day, and then they have other stages throughout. I mean, it's huge.
Is there a style of music, or is it just kind of really eclectic?
All
everything?
different. I mean, I heard kind of hip hop to what sounded like Israeli folk music to Brazilian samba to just kind of rock and roll. Like, it's all over the place.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And every year it happens.
Every year, yeah.
What's the name of it?
Wake Up the Earth Festival.
Yes, that's a biggie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't know about it.
Oh, you
It's
did?
a big one. Yeah, it's one of the big celebrations. I'm surprised your realtor didn't say anything to you as he was moving you into your new space.
Yeah, well, but it's grown a lot.
Yeah, it has. It's gotten really, really big.
I mean, it's massive.
enormous, yeah. But I think it's great because it's a springtime event, and there's been some offshoots of it here and there.
Yeah.
What also happens is they do a cleanup, the cleanup thing, and Boston Shines is part of that whole organization thing. So they do that at the same time, and it's kind of like awareness of your environment, awareness of cleaning up, your space and waking up the earth. It's springtime, ready to go.
It's amazing how clean it is after the festival.
Yeah.
I mean, you think that there's just going to be things strewn everywhere, but
Well, it is a big
completely
deal.
clean.
No, it's important. It's a big deal that is part of the the thing, is that they want the space to be very, very clean, and they do a great job.
Yeah, they do.
Now, did they spread it out at all? Is it all in one location?
It's all kind of from Stony Brook Tea Station and then maybe there's a skate park in JP right down the way. So to there, those are the two kind of.
And it's all in that like walk and bike
from
path
Amory to
area?
Lamartine.
Yeah, it's an amazing space. On the other side of the railroad tracks, go right through there. The orange line runs right through. On the other side of that, there's on the Lamartine side, there's lots and lots of space.
That's where it is.
Have all kinds of fun. Well, that's great. Very exciting.
That's my front yard.
Yeah. I did some art pieces last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I stayed up late and worked on some pieces. I'm going to be at the Liberty Hotel.
Oh, cool.
In July. We'll be giving you more information about that. And it's a one-day show.
Nice.
In the entire lobby of the Liberty. And it's going to be my own show.
What kind of
art
is it? It's new pieces.
Pardon?
It's new pieces?
There's new pieces and some of my favorites. I do acrylic. I do an abstract, blending colors, mixing colors. I throw a little. I use some. Yeah, I do. I do. I have a 16-foot space downstairs.
Nice.
And I actually do some throwing a little, and I do use sand, fabric.
Cool. It's a little mixed media.
Use a palette knife, and I just started putting in fabric. I hadn't before. I hadn't for a long time. I'd done a lot of pieces in sand, and some acrylic paint, and oils. I've worked in oils too. It's just I'm too impatient. I haven't got the patience to work in oils.
Yeah.
Because oils, it takes a while for them to set up, especially for what I want to do, where I want to layer some things in there, and then I need to let it. So
what made you go with fabric? Was there a particular piece that inspired you?
I did see a piece that was hanging down in Rosendale, the library down in Rosendale, and it had a piece of fabric in it, and I just loved the way that. What I did was I submerged the fabric in the paint.
Yeah.
I might still have paint on me.
I can see that.
And I scrubbed a little.
Yeah.
But this is actually from class today. I'll tell you about that too. I had some really cool things going on. But I submerge it in the acrylic paint and take it off and then set the fabric a certain way. And I'd already prepped the canvas with yellow and blue, which gave me my green hues around the side, and then took a fork and meticulously went all the way around to kind of set that blend. Then I took these big pieces of fabric, submerged in paint, and placed them on there. Did the same thing with the knife
So you
fork
get
on top
some
of
real
that.
texture.
But then I pulled them off.
Pulled the fabric off.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Use those for another piece. I was out of my mind. Super producer Janet said, "That's it. I'm going to bed. I can't stand this anymore." But it was.
That's what happens. You're in the
was
zone.
Fun. No, it was fun. Yeah, well, that's the way I paint.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people paint. You know, they meticulously go and they get their sketches and they sit and they make sure everything's. You know, they're great. Me, you know, all of a sudden, bing, and off I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you listen to your own music when you paint?
I don't listen to any music.
What? Really?
Yeah.
You just kind of
No
totally
music.
focused.
I really get kind of focused. That's a great question. Well, I ask that question all
You
the time.
do.
I don't
I'm turning
listen.
it around on you.
I don't listen to music, you know, and it's usually it's very late at night.
Yeah.
And what I do is I think the piece through. I think about what I'm going to do. I think about how I'm going to lay this fabric, what I'm going to do, what colors am I going to use, and I think about it constantly. And then 20 minutes later, you know, after chewing it for sometimes weeks, you know.
Yeah.
Then after thinking it through, I do it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And some pieces I've been very, very happy with. Some pieces I get brown paper, because that's what happens when you mix all your primary colors together. You end up with brown paper. So,
Yeah.
But these are on canvas. I'm very happy with the way they kind of came out.
Cool. And the Liberty Hotel, that's
The old Charles
used to
Street
be
jail.
a jail. Yeah. Okay.
They've
Yeah.
got plenty of rooms.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's going to be in July. So I'm very excited about doing that, and I'm going to be working on some new pieces. It's going to be a one-day show, and you're going to have to come, and we'll put a camera on you. Maybe you'll interview me. You know, that'll be fun.
Sounds good.
Hey, you know, I got to remind everybody that not only do we have a great show tonight, but we're going to tell everybody that we are coming to you by our great friends at the Boston Main Streets program. Boston Main Streets is a volunteer-driven organization that helps revitalize business districts around the city. It's a great one in Hyde Park. There's a great one in Rosendale. South End has an awesome one. They're all over the city. There's about 19 of them. And what they do is they make sure that the property owners that have empty storefronts down in the front of their buildings, they get the right demographic information about the community. What does the community need? Where is the money being spent? What are people leaving their business district to get because they can't get it there? And then they advise them as to what kind of business to put down in that new storefront. Once it's in there, there's another committee that works with the business owners, the people that are running the business downstairs, with getting their signage done correctly, making sure that they have all of their permits in line, make sure that, you know, make it look like somebody wants to come in. And that's full of architects and designers and all kinds of people doing all kinds of work there. Volunteering. Then there is the great promotions committee, which I've been working with out in Rosendale for many years. They run events where they bring people down into the community to discover some of these new businesses that are there. Rosendale has been an incredible Main Streets program. In fact, their farmers market this year, we've made so much noise in Rosendale that the city has dumped a bunch of money in there to renovate Adams Park and the library. So we're not going to be in Adams Park this year. We're going to be in the parking lot of the Rosendale Village train station, the T station up there. It's going to be huge. It's going to be great. So if you see somebody in a Main Street t-shirt or shirt or jacket or something, and they're down there volunteering their time to make your community better, thank them for us, will you please? And thank them for yourself, because they're really working on your community to make it better. They really are. Yeah. I mean, I love that organization. It's great. Since we've been talking about it, have you ever seen any Main Street things going on? You have?
Yeah.
Good, good.
Yeah, there's been a couple of stuff in JP, actually, and then they had a table at the festival this weekend.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
You got to come out to our farmers market. I run the sound and do the music and all of that, making the announcements and all of that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I got to support JP, though. JP Farmers Market.
Yeah, I'll come to yours. I'll come to yours if you come to mine.
Okay.
Right?
JP's isn't nearly as big, but it could be.
Rosendale's gotten some awards. Recognized as the farmers market. So get recognized. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about is this amazing building and studio that we are in, BNN TV, Boston Neighborhood Network. What it is it's your opportunity to come and do television. It's your opportunity as a nonprofit to get in here and work, get your mission statement out there, invite guests that you want to talk to help the community understand what your nonprofit's doing. That's the Channel 9 side of things, the news and information side. And then the other side, which is the very, very exciting access side, is where you become a member and then you come here and take great courses in Final Cut Pro, lighting, how to use these amazing cameras, how to edit your work, how to do location shots, how to do sound, all of these things. And then you sign out these amazing cameras and all of this great equipment. You go and you film the local soccer game or the local town hall meeting, come back to the great Timothy Smith lab downstairs, which is full of all the state-of-the-art computers, Macintosh computers, and you edit that, put it all together as a program, and they put it on TV for you. So listen, this is the place to come and do that. If you're excited about television, doing television, if you're excited about your nonprofit, you want to get your information and your mission statement out there, go to www.bnntv.org, click on Janice Williams or Jim Atwood's name. Jim Atwood has been doing Access TV for ever. And Janice Williams is the manager of the membership. And so she has all the ins and outs, how to get you into this building. And once you're in here, Jim Atwood's the cat to talk to as far as, what do I do now? So if you do that, www.bnntv.org. And if you're excited about the Hyde Park Arts Association being here today, call someone up and tell them to go to that website because we're streaming live right now there. I have a message for Kirsten out in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, the beard's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even notice that.
Didn't
oh,
even
my goodness.
Know. She said, Glenn, the beard's got to go. You just So off it came.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty amazing. None of my kids at school noticed
really?
either. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Huh. So well, see, I could have kept it and still gotten away with it.
Yep.
Listen, gang, you know what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. Take a quick break. And you good? You got anything else you want to throw in as far as what you're doing this week or anything?
No, but did you mention that you can see this show tomorrow up on YouTube?
I had not. Why don't you tell me?
You can search YouTube. It's All About Arts 1, our YouTube channel, and this show will be up there sometime tomorrow afternoon. And you can also tweet us at It's All About Arts through Twitter. Yeah, so tweet us events that are going on, things that are going on artfully. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to see on the show. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. And that show will be up tomorrow. This very show.
Yeah, this very show.
So, well, that's great. Well, listen, gang, thanks for being here with us. Please do not go away. This is a very exciting show. Julia and I are going to switch seats for the first time. It's going to be fun. Listen, gang, hang in there. You are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams. This is Julia Perciasepe. We will be back in just a very few seconds. Do not, I repeat, do not go away. Thank you.
There's a time when everybody needs to be with someone. Well, now's the time when I have realized you're that someone. How could I have been so blind? When you have been there all this time. I need you, I want you. Can I have
folks. Welcome back to It's All About Arts. I'm just going to quickly do some Julia's World in Glenn's seat here. I first want to mention the New England Animation Film Festival that's being held at the ICA. It's an annual event, and this year it's happening starting on May 10th, and that'll be at 7 p.m. And then there's a couple of other dates as well. The 10th, there will be a Q&A with some folks following the screening. And this year, the festival includes 19 emerging New England artists, which is really amazing. One of which includes Daniel Sousa, whose work Feral was among the nominees of the Best Short Film and Animation for the 2014 Academy Awards, which is pretty amazing. So if you're interested in animation, go check it out. It should be really fun. Second, I want to mention Together Boston. It's another festival. This one is an annual celebration of music, art, and technology. Started in 2010, which is pretty recent, but it's really taken off. And it used to be all about electronic dance music, and now it's incorporating all kinds of musical genres. And that's taking place May 11th through 18th, all over Boston and Cambridge, in all different types of venues. And there's educational and professional discussion panels, art installations, film screenings, musical performances of all different kinds. And you can check out the lineup on the website, togetherboston.com. They have internationally renowned artists coming, and they also have a variety of local artists who are performing, which we always like. And lastly, it's also part of the Together Boston, but kind of its own separate event within that. We have Music 2.0, Tools plus Tech for Musicians, Marketers, and Managers, the 2014 edition. And this is kind of a cool event. You can sign up online, whether you're a musician, a marketer, an entrepreneur, or just somebody who's interested in these topics. And you go, and these music-related tech companies get the chance to present to the room their ideas, and they get 10 minutes to kind of pitch their thoughts, it's taking place in the Boston Innovation District Hall, which is actually right across from ICA in a really cool space. Definitely worth checking out. And that's all I have for Julia's World. So thanks for hanging in there, guys. We're now going to go to our guest, our first guest for today, Danielle LaRossi. Mm-hmm. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you are a mass arts student.
Yes.
And you have curated a show at the Menino Art Center.
I have indeed.
Can you tell me a little bit about the relationship between Mass Art and the Menino Center and the Hyde Park
Arts Association?
Yeah.
So for my senior capstone show, for what we're doing for the final project that we have to do is each student picks a track, whether you choose to be studio education, you can choose community education, or museum ed. And so as I've chosen community education, wanting to bring art to the community and be able to give back into different places and work at all kinds of different venues. So we have an internship that we're required to do as our 5th and final semester as the art education program at Mass Art. And so what I've been assigned to do is work with a venue of my choice. And so I signed up working with the Menino Arts Center, and then you have to sort of work with kids and adults and, you know, build classes, have lesson plans, all kinds of things. And then as one of your final projects while you're there is to curate a show. So either curate a show of your students' work, or, you know, or you can choose something else. So what I wanted to do was, I thought would be really important would be to bring other students' work of like my same sort of genre and demographic. So even not just students from Mass Art, but students from Leslie, Suffolk, at School Museum of Fine Arts, everything like that. So it's part of my final thesis project.
And this is the first year that that relationship is happening?
Yes.
Or, okay, that's great. So you're paving the way.
Yes, hopefully that next semester we'll have another Mass Arts student be able to come into the Menino Arts Center and be able to take a community position just like I've taken and be able to work with kids and, keep trying to get galleries and shows to be popping up in the building. They have such a great space available there.
Yeah.
So that way it allows for a lot of people to have work up all throughout the semester. And
That's fantastic.
yeah, we hope that even next spring we'll be able to make the Emerge Boston show an annual show.
Great.
Yeah.
So you are also an artist,
I am,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So what kind of art do you do?
This is at Mass Art. This is my second degree at Mass Art, so I'm a double major. So I've already finished my degree in photography. So a lot of my photography is night work.
Okay.
It's pretty dark, and it has like a lot to do with sort of cityscapes and bringing the color of the city at night into like sort of, you know, a 2 a.m., 3 a.m., everyone's kind of asleep type deal.
Yeah.
So not everyone gets to see what the city looks like later on at night. So I try to go out pretty late
Yeah.
and work with that. And so this semester I've started to actually crochet with wire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's weird, it's weird.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's
That's gotta be very hard to do.
yeah, it's rough on the hands. It's
Yeah.
kind of difficult. You know, you got to follow the same principle as crocheting with yarn.
Yeah.
You got to follow different patterns and stuff like that, and add, subtract. But it's with thin gauge wire. Almost, it's close to thread or fishing line.
Yeah.
And so I've been crocheting these sort of sculptural forms, and then I have friends in the glass department. We have like 22 majors at Mass Art. We have
Yeah.
so many different majors that I can make friends. And if I have an idea, I can walk into a department
That's
and execute
amazing.
it. So it's pretty
so good
cool.
for collaborating.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been crocheting these organic shapes and forms, and then what I've been doing is going into the glass shop and then actually trapping them into solid pieces of glass. And so the copper wire has the chance to become really hot, and then it creates its own form based on how I roll and fold it and work it when it's at like a 2,000 degree level. And so I don't really get control over the shape after I put it in the glass.
That's
Yeah.
very cool. Well, you'll have to come back and show us some of that work.
Yeah, there's some of it's in the Emerge Boston show too. I have 3
great.
pieces in there.
Great.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what do you like? But you've taken on the role of curator
Mm-hmm.
now. Is that something that you enjoy? You're always going to be an artist? Because sometimes the curators are on the other side of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not even artists. So, what do you enjoy about both? And
I got to meet a lot of really cool people,
Yeah.
even through email, and some people weren't even able to come to the show because they'd already left school for the semester and
Yeah.
gone back home. So I really like being able to meet different artists, and then, you know, as they were dropping off their work, I was like, I really like this piece, and I selected it for these reasons. How did you make this? This
Yeah.
painting's really great. Oh, I love your sculptures. Why are you doing them like that? And, you know, being an art ed, I get to be exposed to a lot of different mediums. For everybody in the major gets to kind of pick their own medium, whether it's
Yeah.
ceramics or painting, anything like that. So it's really cool to meet people from other majors and other schools as well. So it was really nice to be able to make new connections with people. I haven't had a chance to like really branch out of my major in a really long time. I've
Yeah.
been super busy with teaching, so it's kind of cool to do that too.
that's awesome. And is there a theme for this show, or it's
Yeah. The
What's
Emerge
theme?
Boston show is what I really wanted to do with it was to be able to showcase students either in their bachelor or undergrad program right now, and have them bring in work that they think best represents themselves as an artist, so what they think their best practice is, and be able to show that to the city.
Gotcha.
And so showing different schools and what everyone's doing as like different mediums. You know, kids are doing painting, they're doing ceramics, and you know, we try like. Sometimes people consider art school to be sort of not the typical way to graduate a college major, but
Yeah.
we work really hard with what we do,
sure,
and
yeah.
there's plenty of hours that we put into making our art pieces versus writing really long, you know, law term papers, but it's all very valid, and I think that it'd be really great if people could see all the work that everyone's been working so very
Yeah.
hard on, you know, all the way up to their graduate programs.
Yeah, well, I think we have a couple of images from the show.
Yeah.
So let's pop some of those up. And if you can just tell us a little bit about what we're looking at.
Yeah, this is Ethan Hamby. He is one of the sculpture students at Mass Art right now. So he's been working on the series Unraveled, where he's been working with taking the ceramics and building up the walls of the ceramics and then cutting the clay and sort of letting gravity have to sort of balance itself out. And it's a really perfect proportion of balance and weight, along with the glazing and having it not like break on itself or fall over.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and this is Patrick Manning's work. He is in the art ed department with me. He's local from Milton, Mass, and he's been working these past few semesters on trying to create optics in paint. So all the lines you see there are hand painted. It's not a stencil. This piece is probably about, I'd say, like 60 inches around. I've hung it before. I hung it for the show. It weighs like 40 pounds. It's completely filled with expanding foam on the inside, so it looks like this big cookie.
That's
and as you stare at that red dot sort of starts to radiate out. It's like one of those eye optic tricks from the newspaper, so it's really great to see in person. And this is
I love this one.
Oh yeah, this is Zach's work. He's one of the
cool.
he's one of our illustration majors at Mass Art, and he has a series of sort of these geometrical drawings, and that he's been working either charcoal, pencil, and when you think about it, they really look, I think, like they've been done on the computer. They look like they're digital. But
Yeah, it doesn't look drawn. It's amazing.
Yeah, once he brought them to me, and I really thought that they were all digital works, and he brought them in, and I unwrapped them. I was like, oh man, that's real.
Yeah,
Some
that's
real
really
line
impressive.
dedication. So it was really crazy.
Those are great.
Yeah.
And so how long is the show up for?
It shows up till May 30th.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So people have some time to go check it out. And where
Definitely.
can they find out more information about it?
Right on the Mac Menino Arts Center website. So hpa.mac.org. So we have our own website up and available, and the Emerge Boston show is being splashed on our Facebook page as well. So we've
Nice.
got that going on the social media too.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. And speaking of the Menino Center,
Yeah.
we're going to head back outside and check in with Glenn and the Hyde Park Art Association. He's going to show us some pieces out there.
Yeah.
So thanks so much. And
Thanks
stick
for having
around.
me.
Yeah.
Well, thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us, gang. Great job in there, Julia. Thank you very much for taking care of all that for you. And here we are out in the gallery, right outside of Studio B. And I'm glad you're here with us. We're very, very excited about today because we have the Hyde Park Arts Association, which is at that great Menino Center, hanging their work out here. And it's just a great, great thing. We have a great reception going on. It's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to a great guy. He's been on our show in the past. Mr. Graham Wading. Hello, sir. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for inviting us.
No, thank you so much for being here. When you guys kind of got notified or saw the release that there was going to be a gallery here at B&N, how did that go through the organization?
It was a quick decision because for two reasons. One, because we knew we had the Mass Arts students coming in to take over our gallery for the month of May. So this was a perfect opportunity for us to be able to use your gallery and have our members show their work here. And get some exposure for the Mass Arts.
You know what's really exciting though about this is it's brand new now, you know, and I've been affiliated here at B&N for quite a few years, and we've always wanted to have some live art, some art things happening. And this is the second one. South End did it last month, and now you guys are here. When the call went out for artists, were people a little apprehensive because it's kind of a brand new venue for art?
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. In fact, you can just by the attendance here tonight, you can see that people were actually excited. They were excited about hanging work.
That's great. Now your pieces, you did this one here is quite amazing. The lizard.
That's my green man. Yes, that's
The
right.
green dude.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, you've been on the show before.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about the process. This is a photo?
That is a photo. It's printed on metal aluminum printing. And so it is a photo of a green lizard that I took down in the Cayman Islands, and I had to wait for about 20 minutes for this guy to show up and just pose for me and do all the little wiggles and things that he wanted to do.
You took this photo?
I took that photo, yeah. And he was probably no bigger than my hand, maybe. You know, he was tiny. So in the process of doing the Photoshop and exploding him, that picture came out, and it just, you know.
He's much bigger than that now.
He's much bigger now. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it. I mean, I love all of the pieces that are here. I recognized this right away when it was dropped off.
Yeah.
You know, because I got an opportunity to hang this. This is great. That whole affiliation that's going on with Mass Art is very, very exciting. We have a couple of the artists right back here with us. What's your name?
Patrick Manning.
Pat Cookie.
Yes, the Cookie Man.
I'm only calling it that because everybody else did, but it's a beautiful piece. Thank you.
Thank you. It's starting to take on a life of its own. I never thought I would become the cookie guy.
Is it really considered the cookie thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
It's about 5 feet in diameter. It weighs about 70 pounds. And my work for the last couple months have been very deep and serious, and I just needed a break, and
Excellent.
decided to make something fun. And I think when you look at it, it's people just say that's a big cookie.
Right, right.
And it's just fun. It's just it was a fun piece to make.
And you are also with Mass Art
Yeah.
too. Now, what's your name? I'm sorry.
I'm Ethan Hamby.
Ethan, nice to see you,
Nice to meet
Ethan.
you.
Thanks for being here. What's it been like hanging at the Menino Center? I mean, it's a busy place. The
Yeah.
people there.
Yeah.
They're,
It was a great show. For
you-
sure.
I'm going to use this expression wrong. There's real artists in that
Yeah.
building, aren't there?
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and it's nice to see that kind of commitment to the arts and stuff, and you guys have really got an opportunity to hang there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just honored to be part of Mass Art, and it's my first year there, and it's just
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a fun building, isn't it?
Yeah.
All these artful things going on. Graham, who else do we have? I know my good friend Eric Gehring's here. Hello, Eric. How are you?
I'm well, Glenn. How are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks an awful lot for being here with us.
Yes,
No, I'm
thanks for
trying to
having
ask
us.
you to just move a little bit, is what I'm saying. Thanks for being here, back in the building.
Yes.
Yeah, how's
Thanks.
everything going?
Things are going well.
Yeah.
Two little boys that have been taking up a lot of my time and trying
Right.
to do some photography on the side.
Now, your piece is the
Forest Hills
the
Clock
Forest
Tower.
Hills Clock Tower. You've been a photographer with us for a long, long time. Here, the piece is up now. Tell me a little bit about the process of doing this. Do you kind of sit and wait for that sky to look like that? Or?
Well, at 4 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
Is that when you took this shot?
Yes, and it's taken from the soon-to-be defunct, apparently, Casey Overpass.
Yes.
So a long exposure, probably about 20 seconds or so, and fortunately, the building was illuminated from below.
It's beautiful. It's
which
beautiful. So pretty soon you're not going to be able to see this angle ever again unless you have an Eric Gehring piece hanging in your study, right?
I like the way you think.
Is that what I'm thinking now? Well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think. Who else? Do we have any other artists that are here today?
Laura here. Yep.
Laura, hi, Laura. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What's your last name?
Richardson.
Richardson. Which
Yeah.
piece is yours?
I'm the thunderstorm.
The
down there in
thunderstorm,
middle, yeah.
very exciting
Yeah.
piece. The
Thank
big
you.
blue piece with the red sky,
That's
very,
it.
very beautiful.
That's
What medium are you working in?
I'm oil on canvas.
Oil on canvas.
Very traditional.
Well, you might have heard me earlier talking that I'm an acrylic guy because oils just don't set up. I love them. I love oils. They're beautiful. They're very, very beautiful, and I love them. But boy, do they take a lot of time to do.
They do, but the colors are so good.
Oh, they are. They're very, very beautiful. Do you have a dedicated space to work in?
I do. I live in a place called the Fenway Studios.
Oh,
Have
you
ever
do?
heard of it?
I have heard of them. They're
Yeah.
great.
Yes, I live in my studio.
Oh, there's a piece. There it is right now. We finally got it up. That's
Good.
great. Oh, it's very, very beautiful. And it's a larger piece, too, isn't it?
It is. It was the first one I did. I wanted to make, I usually do things that are totally abstract, but I wanted to make all my marks on canvas relate to one another.
Mm-hmm. Right, right,
I'm getting that feeling about the world,
Excellent.
actually.
It's very, very
and
beautiful.
I painted that all at once
Yeah.
on the floor.
That's great. Great. Thank you for being here. Anybody else? Hi. How are you?
Hi.
What's your name?
Anita Cohen.
Anita Cohen. Which piece? This is your piece here.
that
What
is.
beautiful flowers. What medium is this?
It's watercolor on handmade paper, which is why the edges look the way they do.
Well, that's the part of that I think that I love the way that looks like a separate piece of parchment paper almost, right?
Right,
Yeah.
it does. Yep.
And you're a watercolorist?
I am, and I mostly do flowers.
Very,
Sometimes
very
other
beautiful.
things.
Are you in the Hyde Park Arts Association?
I am.
Do you ever
I am.
participate in open studios?
I have not been in Hyde Park Open Studios. I live in Newton.
Oh, okay.
And so I was in Newton Open Studios.
Okay, that's great. You should be. Hyde Park has great open studios. They do some great, great things out there.
Yep, I'd
It's
love
very,
to.
very exciting.
Yep. It's, there's only so many things that you can sort of do when
Mm-hmm.
you're showing your work. And if they conflict, a lot of things are on the same date, same weekend.
Right. No, I understand how that works. Let me ask you, as a member of the Hyde Park Arts Association, when you heard about this B&N, Boston Neighborhood Network, we were going to put out this kind of gallery thing, I'm going to invite people here to do it. What was the buzz? Was it kind of exciting a little bit?
Well, I got an email,
Uh-huh.
a call for artists,
Yeah.
and it was explained just very briefly. And I thought, I love this idea. I
Yeah.
think this is so great. And then I discovered that B&N has a monthly arts.
Yes.
You know,
We've just
kind of-
started, and it's very exciting for us here.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful idea, and it's so supportive of artists. And I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much. No kidding. No, Curtis Henderson and Nia and Jim Atwood and Janice, all the gang here, they've been fighting for this for years to get a gallery in here. And all of the cards fell into place, and they're very, very excited. Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
love your work. You know, this has been a very exciting opening. Graham, back to you.
Yep.
Tell me a couple of minutes about the Hyde Park Arts Association. Maybe we can scroll through some of the other pieces while Graham gives us an opportunity to hear a little bit about the Arts Association in Hyde Park.
Most people don't really, even people in Hyde Park, really don't know a lot about the Menino Arts Center. It's coming up for its 25th anniversary.
25 years, and you're in Logan Square, right?
We're right off of Logan Square, correct. And we are...
Go ahead.
We are coming up in October is our 25th anniversary. We've got a number of events planned between now and then. We're going to be doing we do an annual arts festival, and that one's coming up on August the 2nd of this year.
Battle of the Arts.
Battle of the Arts.
I
which is
love
in
that.
Hyde Park.
I love that.
And, you know, we just love to support the artists in the community, so it's a wonderful
Now,
place.
you have educational part of the program as well, don't you?
We
I
do.
mean, I've taught there a couple of times
Yeah,
when
we have
some
a
of the
lot of
younger
We
kids.
have a lot of programs going on for both children and also for adults. We have a big adult learning center that we are running as well as kids.
Well, I'll tell you, our good friend Cheryl Murphy, who's been a great friend of ours for years, has been up there for a long time with open studios and getting into the building. What's the building you have open studios in, the big building on the other side of Hyde Park there? Sprague Street, right, where she's done some amazing installations over there. It's always been an awful lot of fun. Listen, Graham, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
This has been it's a great event. It's a great opportunity for us. I'm telling you, I'm not talking out of school. The staff here have been going around saying, that's the one. I like that. This is the one. This is, and I've got a couple of people looking at the same one. So
I know which one it is, too.
and, well, you've been here for a little while, so you know which one.
Yeah.
And but putting art into a building like this where people always are bustling and hustling and stuff, when you know what it's done, it's actually slowed some people down a little bit, where they can actually stop and say, oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. So I have to say thank you to you guys for being part of it.
Thank you for having
Hey,
us.
listen, gang, we're having a lot of fun out here in the new gallery out here at B&N. We need you to tweet us and let us know what you think we should be calling this gallery. It's a beautiful place and it's a great opportunity. And guess what? You can come in and do the same thing. If you just send us an email or you give Janice Williams or Curtis Henderson or Jim Atwood an email, go to www.bnntv.org and click on one of those names. Janice Williams would probably be the one to take care of you. Tell us, hey, I want to check out some of that art. Come on down and join us, please. This is the place to do it. Listen, gang, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a couple of seconds. Don't go away. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. I'm out here with the Hyde Park Arts Association. We'll be back in just a couple of seconds. Thanks.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Different view, dream come true. Bolts of lightning from the blue.
Well, welcome back, gang, to It's All About Arts. You're watching our second show where we actually leave the studio and go out into that great art gallery that we've been using now for the last couple of months. And I thought that what we'd do is we'd drag Graham back inside here for a quick second, just to talk about some of the other things that the Hyde Park Arts Association has been affiliated. We never mentioned Open Studios.
Yep.
You guys are a big affiliate, largely affiliated with the Hyde Park Arts Open Studios. How's that been going?
That's been going very well. The last year, I think we had over 100 people just coming through our center at the Menino Park.
That's great.
And it is great. It's a very popular. There are three venues that they have a bus traveling around Hyde Park, and it's very, very popular. It really is.
Do you get to hang your own work, or are you kind of running around like a chicken with your head cut off that weekend?
Well, yeah, I get run around. Yeah.
I've been on that end of it, you know. And it's not as.
Yeah. Luckily, I have a studio in the Menino Center,
good,
so I
good.
can kind of. Yeah.
Your own personal studio?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
All
Well,
right.
tell us. That's
Yeah.
a great. Bring that up. What
Yeah.
is the makeup of the Menino Center? What kind of things go on?
The Menino Center, it's on the second floor of the George White Building in Hyde Park, and it is a 4,000 square feet area that we have. There are 7 artist studios that we have that are rented out to artists at relatively low prices. There's a large auditorium which we use not only for the Menino Arts Center, but a number of the local organizations use it on weekends or whenever they need to. We have a number of church affiliations and Yoga and people like that use the Menino Center. We have Final Fridays that we run every month on the final Friday of the month.
I like it better than First Friday.
Yeah, I do too. I do
Final
too.
Fridays.
Nothing much going on that last.
And I run a photography club that meets every first Saturday of the month. And we've got a really good attendance for that as well. So there's a number of
It's a
things.
really active place,
It is,
and I know you've done music because I've played there.
Yeah.
You know, and one of the big events we did, we brought Urban Caravan in there, where we had Sal Baglio of the Stompers, we had Mr. Kurt, Bird Mancini. We had all of these local, not only local, but New England area top cats in there playing. We packed the place out. It was like an amazing.
We've actually been fighting for a number of years trying to get our occupancy permit sorted out at the Menino Center.
Yeah.
And we've eventually got it done, we hope.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah, so
That's great.
we can start that up again.
But Graham, I did want to ask you back in here to talk a little bit about. You do have membership.
Yep, we have a membership. It's an annual membership.
And we can't talk about prices and stuff.
Okay.
But I want to give people an idea of you know, it's not always easy to run a local,
Nope.
non-profit, arts-affiliated
Nope.
center. The new mayor seems to be gearing up and kind of leaning towards really supporting the arts.
Yep.
In Boston.
We've actually been really lucky between Mayor Menino, who everybody knows is an
Oh,
absolute sponsor,
of course.
and Mayor Walsh is clearly taking in that same role. So we are thrilled with what he's doing. Yeah.
I think the opportunities for artists are going to grow in the city. It's a great arts colony now.
Yep.
Boston is, you know. But I think that right now what happens is when you mention the arts, people say South End.
Yep.
People say Hyde
Yeah.
Park. People say Jamaica Plain. Pretty soon, I think we're going to be talking about East Boston. We're going to be talking about, you know, more of all of Boston being this kind of
Right.
Yeah.
not just little sections. Don't you? I mean,
Yeah,
don't
connecting
you
the
see feeling that kind of-
neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, the Reedville line, the Fairmont line that they have running between Hyde Park and South Station, basically, is meant to join all the communities in that area.
Yeah, it's its
and
purpose.
That's its purpose, and the purpose is to bring art into all those communities. So I think you're right. I think that South End and Hyde Park are going to be the 2 bookends of what eventually.
They should do an art train.
I would love that. I'd love to be able to
Write that down somewhere,
I'd love
folks. You
to-
heard it
Art
right
train.
love
here.
to be able to paint a train.
May 5th, 2014, in Art Train. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be awesome? Yeah.
You know, kind of with people's art inside. You know,
Yeah.
the whole area up. in
Each
the top.
car is a gallery.
Yeah.
You could have little receptions in the cars,
Yeah,
just like going down the neighborhood.
Is anyone listening
You
to
can
this? This is-
pick people up at different stops.
And we've actually got a proposal into one of our funders to have not graffiti art, but wall art done by kids
Yeah.
in Hyde
Awesome.
Park
Yeah.
in the area. So we've got a proposal in.
Well, I know the whole Mayor's mural thing is going to explode
Right.
too, because
Yeah.
Mayor Menino did had some
His
great
murals
things
are
happen, aren't they?
amazing.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I think we're going to find that there's going to be a lot more of that
Yeah.
kind of thing happening. This has been very exciting. Graham, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you. I was very happy when we got to see each other again during the hanging. And on top of that, thank you for putting the art down and leaving. I know how hard that is. I know how difficult it is. But you've hung art too, so you know what it's like to have an artist hanging over your shoulder as you're hanging their piece. Listen, thanks an awful
Thank you.
lot for being
Thanks
here.
a lot. Thank you.
Listen, thank you. Julia, you want
Yeah.
to tell anybody real quickly where they can find us tomorrow around this time?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube at our YouTube channel. It's All About Arts 1. Yeah.
Yeah, and fire us
about it.
off a tweet too
Fire
if you
us a
want to give
tweet
us an idea of how we're doing.
At It's All About Arts.
Right. Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here with us. Get out there and do something artful for yourself, please. I stayed up all night last night painting, and I feel great about it. Listen, gang, get out there and do something artful. And like we like to say every week, please keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please do something artful. Do it for them. Thanks for being here. We'll dig in next week. Okay, bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.